Ram, Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Ram, Jai 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 Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri 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 Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
आज मेरी विनती, आज मेरी विनती, आज मेरी विनती, आज मेरी विनती, दीनबंधु गुणगणाधि, दीनबंधु गुणगणाधि, दीनबंधु गुणगणाधि, मेरी विनती, आज मेरी विनती। सकल जगत के आधार, सकल जगत के आधार, निर्गुण निकार, निर्गुण निकार, सकल जगत के आधार, निर्गुण निकार, निर्गुण निकार, जन्म मरण ताप हार, जन्म मरण ताप हार, परम धाम सुख धाम, आज मेरी विनती, आज मेरी विनती, आज मेरी विनती, आज मेरी विनती। चौदह भुवन में समान, चौदह भुवन में समान, पूर्ण सब गुण निधान, पूर्ण सब गुण निधान, चौदह भुवन में समान, पूर्ण सब गुण निधान, पूर्ण सब ऋषि मुनिगण करत ध्यान ऋषि मुनिगण करत ध्यान सकल दुख भय हरा आज मेरी विनती आज मेरी विनती आज मेरी विनती आज मेरी विनती महिमा तुम्हारी अपार महिमा तुम्हारी अपार महिमा तुम्हारी अपार वेदरत पार वेदरत पार महिमा तुम्हारी अपार वेदरत पार वेदरत बार बार पावत नहीं परम पार पावत नहीं परम पार को दूरा सुर नरा विनती आज मेरी विनती नाथ मेरी अरजमान नाथ मेरी अरजमान नाथ मेरी अरजमान दीजो अपनी भक्ति दान दीजो अपनी भक्ति दान नाथ मेरी अरजमान दीजो अपनी भक्ति दान दीजो अपनी भक्ति दान ब्रह्मानंद तेरो ध्यान ब्रह्मानंद तेरो ध्यान चरण कमल किंकरा विनती आज मेरी विनती आज मेरी विनती आज मेरी विनती दीनबंधु सुनजराति दीनबंधु सुनजराति दीनबंधु सुनजराति विनती आज मेरी विनती
But we started with the prayer, Aaj Mere Vinati, no?
Yes, Swamiji.
So the message it gives us is that we develop this bhakti. Please, however, totally. The last para is very, very touching. I am an insignificant fellow. Somehow take me into your fold. So this sort of attitude should be there. When we are trying to have a dialogue with him every day, when we are trying to bring out a prayer from us in our own way, these are all some of the things, that have come out from the heart of a devotee. That is why how many times we have heard, still it touches our heart. So today, Papa chose to bring it. Because the central theme of our sadhana is that bhakti, bhakti. Yes? Why those sounds? Yes?
Hari Om, Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Hari Om. Pranam Swamiji. IQji. IQji Swami, IQji. 36 chapter. 154 page. 154 page. 154.
164, no? 36.
Ramdas remained in Pandharpur. 154 page number.
154. 154.
154 cannot be in this book. Okay. You tell me the para starts with?
Starts for Ramdas remained in Pandharpur for 5 days.
Occupying a small mandir of Shankar on the banks of the holy river. Yes.
On the banks of the holy river. In the company of two sadhus. Ram is very kind. Ramdas came to know that Mangal Veda lay only 12 miles from Pandharpur. One morning he walked this distance and reached Mangal Veda at night. Swamiji, whereas in Rameshwar there was Swami Sadhuram was there. Here there is no Sadhuram.
But still he says
Swami mentioned here only 12 miles.
Only 12 miles.
1 year, no Sadhuram.
In the company of two sadhus were there.
Ramdas here came to know that Mangalveda lay only 12 miles.
That is right. Nobody told him, but he... Okay. What's the point? Everywhere, 12 miles means you can just imagine in kilometers, 16 plus, anyway nearly 20 kilometers. 18 kilometers, just imagine. And he says only. So yesterday as we discussed, when we are fired with an ideal, all other things, the Vyavaharic load, walking so many miles alone, all these things does not matter at all. Because ideal. So you are seeing him everywhere. That is the ideal. So then it did not matter at all whether it is 12 miles, whether it is 20 miles. Whereas in Tirupati we found 20 miles he walked. And on the same day he was asked to walk back. So the message is, otherwise the Vyavaharic problem is a problem for all of us. But the severity of the Vyavaharic problem will get reduced when we are inspired by the ideal. When we go to a mountain, suppose we have to reach the top. And there are about 3,000 feet, 1,000 steps or 2,000 steps. If we know we have to reach there. But if you look at the 2,000 steps, you will get dispirited, rejected. But suppose you take, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps. Don't look at the 1,000 steps. You look at the next immediate step. You will not feel the fatigue. Otherwise the mind has got a knack of bringing the enormity, the severity. So though we fix our ideal to be reached, what is to be done now before us? If we concentrate on that, we will be able to slowly move forward. In most of our cases, when we hear the words of Mahatma, or when we go through Shastras, we place in our mind this is to be reached. And we are always conscious of that. How am I to reach? So many things have to be done. But suppose now and here, we bring in, what is it that I can do now? probably that will lessen the mental feeling of the load. We don't know whether we have made it clear. Is it clear? There are about 1,000 there are about 1,000 steps. Okay, we have to reach the top. But if we look always at the 1,000 steps, we will get dispirited. Your mind will say that, oh, we can't do it. It is difficult. Legs will be paining. Knee will be paining. This and that. But suppose we look at first step, second step, third step, fourth step, like that, slowly we will be able to reach. So when you go for walking, especially an upper incline, when you try this, you will understand it. So this is the message of our duty.
Papa telling to Papa, only Swami. Papa telling to Papa.
Keep on thinking about it. Keep on thinking about it. How am I to do that? How am I to do that? Suppose you bring the top always on your this thing, we will be either a non-starter or we will not be able to persevere. That is why in our prayer we find this now and here. No? What is to be done now? Yeah. For achieving the goal. So first step, second step, third step, up to 4 or 5 steps you can see. Only 5 steps. Then after that, another 5 steps. Another 5 steps. From practical experience we are telling. Because then you will not get dispirited. Otherwise it's a tough job. So wherever, when Papa fixed the target to be reached, he was not telling about that, but he was every moment of his life, he was trying to put that step. And everywhere he was seeing it, That we will be able to understand when, recently we also had a similar experience. We were in Tamil Nadu, We were in Tamil Nadu, in a place called Shirumalai. And, which is, the elevation is about 5,500 feet above the sea level. So there happens to be a hill. The people say that it was occupied by Agastya Maharshi. So we all went there. It was a tough job, especially with our knee pain. Then we said, okay, we will try. But we did not look at the top. We will look at each and every step. And we rest. And in 15 to 20 minutes, we were able, it was very steep. It was very steep. But the weariness was not to that extent. The moment we reached. Similarly also climbing down. If you look at the bottom, you will get giddiness. But suppose you stop, you start seeing the next step. It is possible. So this applies to all our journey, whether it is the Vyavaharic or the spiritual. Though we have to have the idea before us, what is to be done now, that is important. Inner beauty should reveal itself in outer context. So every moment we try to remind us. That is, though the goal is there, this is what I have to do now. We are always thinking about the goal, Most of our waking time, during our satsang or anything, we are thinking about the goal to be scaled. And in that process, we try to unwittingly, we don't give importance to the one which we have to attend now.
Hari Om Pranam.
Pranam. Yes. We were telling yesterday about one anecdote, Anecdote that has touched our heart.
A devotee and his father, Swamiji. how the father was so kind enough to the sister who was treating him. Father, in spite of having so much of physical problem, was so kind enough to the sister and asking her, you didn't go home today, like that.
Yesterday we are reading.
Kindness.
Now, conclusion. Yesterday we read it out. Subrato Bhakti.
Subrato Bhakti. Subrato Bhakti.
You want something from you. Then only it becomes a part of our, then we are linking with our life. Not that what we did, what we were, what we witnessed. Others doing it. Or we were the beneficiary of somebody's kindness. So many people are attending and nobody is coming forward with any touching anecdote. That means we are not applying our mind on ourselves. We are always looking out. There would have been empty number of instances where you would have been touched by the kindness of others, sacrifice of others, selflessness of others, perfection in others. We only want you to in 2 or 3 lines. Then you will be remembering that you are reliving that moment. This is how we start now and here. No? Otherwise we are hearing a lot of anecdotes.
I tell one thing.
Yes?
Swamiji, once when I had come to Anandashram with my mother, Swami Sachidananda Swamiji was actually in wheelchair, Swamiji. They had kept some herbal leaves on the head, and they were. My mother felt very bad after seeing Swamiji. So she asked him, Swamiji, you have so much of pain and suffering, you are suffering. But Sachidananda Swamiji told, no pain, no suffering. So my mother just repeated that, no pain, no suffering, like that she repeated. But that scene is etched in my mind, Swamiji. I don't know why. How Swamiji could have said like that, and why I was seeing that, I don't have any idea at all.
Okay. Anything in your life, okay. Mahatmas, of course, they are personification of values. Whether we have been able to implement it, it's a big question. But suppose we deal with ordinary occasion, where people like us, they do that activity, and then we are touched with. Then it's easy for us to, what is it that has touched in me? Then we will try to analyze. This is an exercise, we have to. Because these are all something by which, the value in us is being touched and kindled. In Vyavahara, values are the factors that push us on the spiritual line. Wherever we see a value, it is nothing but an expansion of me to we. Whenever we see an anecdote where somebody does something and you are touched by it, that means he has moved from me to we. And me to we is an essential point to go to me to him. That is why we give a lot of importance for these anecdotes. So yesterday when we read out Subrato Bhakti, why it touched us? There is a point there, inclusion. So God made us to get in touch with it. Then immediately we are checking up whether any such incidents have taken place. Now when you say, there must be incidents, but it is not getting registered, or we are not trying to remember it. Because if it has touched your heart, you will not forget. At the family level, professional level, and social level. Because outer life, we are all sitting in outer life. So the outer life, when we see these positive things, we to we, then slowly, the mind becomes getting purified and purified and purified. You remember, we used to share about Vinobaji's oft-quoted statement that when a bucket is full of dirty water and which is stationary, it can't be taken out, how can you fill it with, how can you make it with pure water? So we keep on pouring the pure water into the muddy water, and because of the displacement theory, it overflows, but we continuously pour the pure water, and slowly the hot, dirty water, along with the pure water, it goes out, and finally what remains will be the pure water. So in our mind, me to me is dominant. So when we keep on pouring, me to me incidents, the mind becomes also me to we. Which is a must for people like us who are not full-timers. Those of us who are full-timers, no, don't worry. Because they don't need anything else, but they can take to the inward chanting, or inward journey with the help of Nama chanting, and that is enough. But since right from morning till night, evening, during our waking hours, 90% of our waking hours are in Vyavaharic dealing. So there the mind is likely to accumulate so many types of thoughts. Some are elevating, some are degrading, some are deplorable, some are noble. So every day we have to do this, cleansing within us. So how do we do that? By bringing in the goodness. Seeing the good.
How many one incident can you share Swamiji now?
Any incident where we see somebody doing it and it has touched our heart.
Yes, just very long time back we were in Kottayam, 1953 or 54 or so. So we were getting regularly this Vision magazine every month. So on a particular new subscription renewal time, my father didn't have any money to give money to subscribe. So father wrote a letter to Ashram that I have no money this year, so please don't send the machine, we cancel my subscription. Like that he wrote a letter to Ashram. So after next month he got the machine with a letter that your subscription has already been paid by Mr. Sundaram, who happened to see the letter which we were reading. So Sundaram, without telling my father, he has paid the whole year subscription so that my father gets the book regularly. So we didn't know the importance at that time. Sundaram's broad mind and we couldn't understand at that time. Now if I see that incident, that teaches us so many things. Because after that incident, all our family members were supporting each other in difficult times. That is a goodness that I have seen in this.
There is a me to we expansion from Sundar Mama side. Okay.
Yes, Sundar Mama side, yes. Yes. Now only more meetings we are getting for that.
This incident happened
Again,
we would like to make it very clear. At that time, it was individual to individual, no? We felt grateful to Sundar Mama.
Yes.
Now we don't see the finger of God.
Exactly.
Now we are also trying to add. God taught us the me to we lesson first by subjecting us to go through all these things. And prompting who is seated within Sundar Mama to immediately, spontaneously come to our head. Yeah, you add that, then it becomes very clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
One small incident, this happened to me about 10 years ago, Swamiji. I was traveling from here to London. I was traveling alone. There had to be a break at Dubai, and I wanted some coffee. That time what happened was I had only pounds with me. I did not have dollars because we were only traveling to UK and not to US at that time. I was very badly in need of coffee because of the long break. When I went to the counter and I wanted to pay in pounds, they could not change it. I had a small change of Dubai money. I had only 15 dirhams. Actually, the coffee price was 16. So I was puzzled what to do. I just came away. The girl who was cleaning the table and for whom we have to tip, that girl said, okay, you give 15 dirhams. She took one coin out of her pocket, made it 16, went to the counter, paid it and got me coffee. I'm so touched and still moved by this. I'm a stranger. I will not see her in life again. She is a girl for whom others paid tips. She gave me that 1 dirham and got me the coffee. How people are. Incident moved me a lot.
You are remembering it now. Again, you should now know, we were having that gratitude towards that girl, individual to individual.
Yes.
We are trying. God made us to teach us that. He gave us this urge to have a cup of coffee. And he thought that we are short of something. And at the same time, he prompted somebody to pay whenever he needs. Though the desire also is given by him, he also fulfills it in his own way. We try to reinterpret, no?
Yes, that day I agree.
Me to incident, first we remember and then we try to bring in, this is the thing. Because you remember Papa's quotation, no? The world we live in is a school in which observation and experience offer us immense possibilities for self-improvement. Nay, the world itself is Guru or God. So self-improvement. I should not think about me to me only. A stranger whom I am not going to see at all. He came forward. So initially, individual to individual, I remember. Great gratitude. It's a plus point. But later on, a spiritual appearance, if we leave it at the individual level, we will be staying at me to we, that's all. But me to him is our final goal. So through me to we, we try to go to me to him. So it is good that you shared this. Such incidents should happen singly enough. Goodness in everybody. Then we will know goodness not to me. Goodness is to teach me that he is goodness. He is goodness in all. There's a beautiful quotation of Buddha about goodness. Simple word, not tall word. Otherwise, we may all feel we need something to learn. What was I telling? Goodness, yes.
Swamiji.
1 second, please wait. The line is temporarily.
Net problem is the network problem, please.
Yeah.
Mataji.
Network issue, please wait, ma. Please wait, network. Swamiji will come back.
మీకు ఆ ఇన్సిడెంట్ చెప్తా మీ స్వామిజీ ఇంగ్లీష్ లో చెప్పండి.
Please wait.
సరే మాతాజీ సరే.
Yesterday we were telling, when we deal with men and matters, and then we want to progress, when we hear Papa's word that behold divinity in every aspect of world leela, behold divinity in every aspect of world leela. How am I to see him? No? Now the simple answer is goodness. So in our outer life, we try to see as many times as possible the goodness expressed, the goodness brought out by others. Not only human beings, anything. Yesterday, the today's newspaper. Yesterday, today's newspaper got this thing, very touching incident. One tiger fell into a pit in WAYNAD. And suddenly, the mother tiger, is child, correct? The mother child roared. People came to know of it. They went, then saw the child tiger. You call it a cub, it is still there. It is trying to come out of it, but it fails. Immediately they informed the forest department. They rushed up. They put some anesthesia, and then somebody went inside, put the net, then slowly lifted it, and taken to a place, and from there it was again sent back to the forest. In the field, we are seeing so many goodness here. One is that normally the moment you hear the word tiger, people will run away. But here we find the villagers, they were able to identify that something is wrong, otherwise this sort of roaring will not be there. So they went to that place, then they saw, because you cannot go inside and take it. So then immediately they reported, went back to their place, went to another place, and then informed the forest people, forest guard. They immediately brought the necessary equipment. It made the tiger unconscious, and they jumped into it, put the net, and have some poles to lift it, and they lifted it, and then brought it to their sanctuary, and after some time, they took it in a vehicle, and then left it in the forest. What we mean is not only human beings, we to be the care and concern. So in order that we try to understand that this is applicable to everybody, God is making us to see, when you have been prompted to identify the goodness in anything, you are identifying me. Slowly from the individual level, we try to go to his level, at least mentally or intellectually. So this type of, there are so many things that are happening. And luckily in Kerala, the paper gives a lot of importance for such things. I don't know about other places. Anybody is suffering, they will highlight with a photo. People will immediately try to join together and raise the needed money or something, and then, it is met with goodness. This is a very important factor in our spiritual journey. So that we will always become positive. We will always try to appreciate the selflessness, the sacrifice, exhibited by his creation. And then our spiritual professor makes us to know, don't look at the individual only. It is true. Satsang kindles. Why you are remembering it? Because the goodness is there. God is there in you. Goodness is there in you. So there is an alignment that has taken place. An outer incident with your inner core of your being. So likewise, then we become a little introvert, and then try to find, you are there. Later on, whenever we see any goodness, we will try to see not only the individual. We may not be able to express it openly. We may express it at the individual level. But in our heart of hearts, we will see God has been extremely kind to make me know His presence through His goodness. So let us all. Is that clear?
Yes, Swamiji. Pranam, Swamiji.
Very, very clear, Swamiji. Very clear.
Swamiji, I will tell in Telugu, Mataji, she will translate Swamiji. Mataji?
Yes, ma, please.
అది మేము 20 years బ్యాక్ ఆనందాశ్రమం వస్తున్నాం మాతాజీ 13 మందివి. అయితే మధ్యలో షోర్నూర్లో దిగి మళ్ళీ వేరే ట్రైన్ ఎక్కాలి. ఆ షోర్నూర్లో అక్కడ బ్రిడ్జ్ పడిపోయిందట, బస్సులో వెళ్ళాలని చెప్పిండు. అందరు లేడీస్ ఉన్నాం 13 మందివి. 3 బస్సులు మారినాం. 3 బస్సులు మారినాక ఒక బస్సు ఆఖరి బస్సు ఎక్కేసరికి 8 అయింది. అందులో రాజారావు అని ఆయనే అక్కడ ఆపి మా అందరిని వాళ్ళ ఇంటికి తీసుకుపోయింది. ఇంటికి తీసుకుపోయి అక్కడ మాకు అది కాఫీ మంచినీళ్ళు అన్ని అరేంజ్ చేసి పక్కన అరేంజ్ చేసిండు. వాళ్ళు డాక్టర్స్ అట మాతాజీ. అయితే అది రాత్రి పడుకున్నాం కానీ భయం వేస్తా ఉన్నది. వాళ్ళు ఎవరో కొత్తోళ్ళు రాత్రికి ఏం చేస్తారో ఏమో అని చాలా భయం వేసింది. అయితే వాళ్ళు మెట్ల కింద అన్ని దేవుడి ఫోటోలు మెట్ల కింద అన్ని దేవుడి ఫోటోలు ఉన్నాయి. ఆ దేవుడి ఫోటోలలో మన పప్ప మాతాజీ ఇది కూడా ఉన్నదన్నమాట. అంటే అప్పుడు ధైర్యం వచ్చింది, మన పప్ప ఉన్నాడు, మన పప్ప కాపాడతాడు అని. అందరం పడుకొని పొద్దున్నే లేచి పాపం 2-3 టాక్సీలు తెప్పించిండు. తెప్పించి 13 మందికి ఆనందాశ్రమం మాట్లాడి మమ్మల్ని అందరిని ఎక్కించి సేఫ్ గా పంపించిండు మాతాజీ. ఆయన పేరు రాజారావు. ఆ ఊరు గుర్తులేదు కానీ నాకు రాజారావు. పప్ప ఎంత హెల్ప్ చేసిందని పప్పాకు కృతజ్ఞత చెప్పుకున్నాం అందరం మాతాజీ.
స్వామీజీ చెప్పనాలంటే ఇంగ్లీష్
చెప్పండి.
హరి ఓం స్వామీజీ.
In short,
they were coming to Anandashram 30 years back.
They got up and then
there was some bridge fall and all. So one person has taken to their house all these 13 ladies. He arranged the dinner. Then he also arranged them the place for sleeping and all for that night. Then morning he himself called taxi, 2 taxis. Then he gave the address to the driver, and so kind he sent them to Anandashram.
Right.
Actually they were so scared to stay there because it's an unknown person. So when they saw in puja room Papa's photo, they got rid of that fear. So they also felt so comfortable. Papa is here also. So they feel Papa has taken them there. That is what they
So now we would request all of you to kindly think about it. One anecdote, one day, that will be enough. Because the idea is we should enable us to go to me to him. That only for that purpose we were trying to suggest it. Otherwise we will always see it from the individual to individual, individual to individual, individual to individual. And anything that is connected with ashram, okay. Anything that is not connected with ashram also we should try. Otherwise we may mentally feel anything connected with ashram is only goodness. But there are umpteen number of instances where, you and I have handled, where all these things don't come at all. They will be absolutely strangers coming forward and doing it. So that also you have to mix up. Otherwise the mind will feel that anything connected with ashram or connected with Mahatma, that is easy for us to say the goodness. But we will not be able to see the goodness in small items. So let us try our level best. Today we have made a beginning of 2-3 anecdotes. And then now going back, a little high voltage we also need, spontaneity of life.
Born out of egoless purity.
Born out of egoless purity and innocence. Then, to reach that is the goal we have to reach. A consciousness of indwelling and all-pervading God, we try. And a constant effort to see Him.
No planning.
With an unconditional, cheerful acceptance of all situations as ordained by the Lord.
Not making provision.
That is the one supreme note and refrain, the voice that rings through the whole text of In Quest of God. Continuity of life born as of an egoless purity and innocence. Let us not forget this, We are on this study. So how, by bringing this we to we and then me to him, we are trying to become conscious of the indwelling and all-pervading God. The all-pervading God who is in the form of the outer creation, and the indwelling God in the form of what is it that made me to remember. So the indwelling and all-pervading aspects are made clear to us through me to we first and then me to him. So this is very important. Then only we will be able to purify our mind, and the mind becomes so spontaneous of a life born of egoless purity, where we don't expect anything, and innocence, an unconditional, cheerful acceptance of all situations. We may not be able to do it straight away, but there's a constant effort on our part. Because all these 37 chapters, -2, 34, 35, we find the same message. This should not be lost sight of. In our year of in-depth study, every now and then these 3 or 4 aspects should be brought in. Spontaneity of life of an egoless purity and innocence. That is the goal we have to reach. For that, what we have to do is to become aware of the indwelling and all-pervading reality. And we are making use of Ramnam. We are also making use of purifying our actions by bringing in a touch of love, touch of gratitude, touch of dedication, touch of surrender, touch of perfection. This is the course, We will try as long as possible to live up to these. A touch of love in all that we handle, a touch of gratitude for all that has been given to us, a touch of dedication is the payback, touch of surrender, we always remember everything has been provided by him, and finally when we offer something, it should be done in a perfect manner, to perfection. So along with chanting, we also try to bring in this. We are moving in the direction where the mind becomes pure and pure and purer, and then the ego becomes less and less conspicuous, and that will ultimately, the outcome will be spontaneity of life born of an egoless purity and innocence. This should be always kept in mind. Then, anything else?
Swamiji, can you please repeat again once the last paragraph? The last bit.
Last paragraph, okay.
Yeah.
Last paragraph?
Indwelling and all pervading.
Indwelling and all pervading reality.
Yes.
So whenever we see goodness in others, our concentration is on the object or the person. We later on find, when we do a little bit of inward journey, we find why is it that I am remembering it today? I am remembering it because the same thing is there in us. God is there in us also. The goodness expressed in the outside to a particular person or an incident or a situation. That is why we remember the goodness. But the goodness we remember because the goodness is there in us also. So the inner goodness and the outer goodness, when it gets fused, we enjoy probably for a second or two There is a fusion. So indwelling or pervading. And otherwise, what happens? We stay at the outer level, we thank the person, but our master said, behold divinity in every aspect of the world, Leela. Verily, it is he at play in all beings and creatures. So with this clue we have given, we are trying to apply now. Whenever we see goodness in others, whenever we value in others, human values, moralistical values, its values are nothing but me to we, and it is nothing but God. Goodness. And the goodness is appreciated because it is remembered, because it is registered in our mind, because the goodness is inside. So the fusion takes place. So suddenly you have given me this wonderful opportunity to understand this. And the outcome will be an inexplicable joy within. That is why people are remembering such incidents. But immediately we have to raise ourselves from the individual level and see his level. That is why you will find in all the chapters, you will find, bring Ram into the picture. Ram in the form of the people. Oh Ram, you are testing, Even if the so-called adverse circumstances come, he is not seeing them as individuals. He is seeing them as Ram. So we are on this in-depth study. To this point, we have to keep on reminding. Otherwise, we may be back to square one. Like, appreciating people who have helped us, or we have seen helping others during flood time, during tsunami time. Everything is okay. But for my spiritual journey, I must connect it with the indwelling reality.
Swamiji, ஒரு இன்சிடென்ட் 6 years பேக் என்னோட மதருக்கு பார்க்கின்சன் ப்ராப்ளம் பெட் ரிடனா இருந்தாங்க சுவாமிஜி. சோ அவங்களுக்கு அட்டெண்டர் தான் கூட இருப்பாங்க. அப்போ நாங்க ஒரு ஆல்டர்னேட்டிவ் டேஸ் போய் பார்த்துட்டோம். அப்போ அம்மாக்கு மோஸ்ட்லி அன்கான்சியஸ் ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு போயிடுவாங்க, எப்பயாவது தான் கான்சியஸ் ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு வருவாங்க. சோ அப்ப அது ஒரு நாள் நான் காலையில போயிருக்கும் போதோ அப்போ அம்மா அந்த கூட அட்டெண்டர் அந்த ஒரு லேடி கிட்ட பேசியிருந்தாங்க. ரொம்ப நேரம் பேசியிருந்தாங்க. அப்ப நான் போகும்போதோ அப்போ அம்மா என்கிட்ட சொன்னாங்க, என்ன இவதான் கூட ரொம்ப கூடவே இவதான் இருந்து என்ன பாத்துக்கிறாப்பான்னு சொல்றா அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. அப்ப நான் சொன்னேன், ஆமாமா, ஏன்னா ஃபுல் டைம் நாங்க இருக்க முடியாது, நாங்களும் வருவோம் போவோம், ஆனா இவதான் கூட இருந்து பாத்துக்கிறா. அப்படியா? அப்போ எனக்கு ஞாபகம் மறதி ஆயிடுதா? சரி சரி. அப்படியே கொஞ்ச நேரம் அப்படியே இருந்தாங்க. அப்போ நான் சொன்னேன், நானும் வருவேன்மா, வந்து உன்னை பாத்துக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவேன். அப்ப என்ன சொன்னாங்க, சரி அப்பனா பீரோல போயிட்டு ஒரு 2 saree கொண்டு வாயேன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. அப்போ எங்க அப்பா தான் போயிட்டு எங்க அப்பா கிட்ட சொல்லி ஒரு 2 saree எடுத்துன்னு அம்மா கையில கொடுத்தாங்க. கொடுத்த உடனே எங்க அம்மா என்ன பண்ணாங்க, ஒரு saree எடுத்து கொடுத்தாங்க. அப்புறம் 2 saree வரவே சரி, நான் என்ன நினைச்சேன்னா, சரி அம்மா எனக்கும் கொடுக்க போறாங்க அப்படின்னு நினைச்சுக்கினேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் அம்மா என்ன பண்ணாங்க, ஒரு saree கொடுத்தாங்க அவளுக்கு. கொடுத்துட்டு இன்னொரு saree என்ன பண்ணாங்க, அவளுக்கே கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. இதுல என்ன பியூட்டி இந்த சம்ஜி, அந்த அம்மா saree கேட்ட உடனே நான் போய் எடுத்து கொடுக்கல. அப்ப அம்மா சொன்னாங்க, சீக்கிரம் போய் எடுத்துன்னு வாடி, ஏன்னா எனக்கு ஞாபக மருதி ஆயிடுது, சீக்கிரம் போய் எடுத்துன்னு வா, இல்லைன்னா எனக்கு கொடுக்க முடியாம போயிடும். அப்புறம் எடுத்து கொடுத்த உடனே 2 சாரியும் அந்த அம்மாக்கே கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. கொடுத்த உடனே அந்த அம்மா சொன்னாங்க, அம்மா அக்காக்கும் ஒண்ணு கொடுமா அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, அதுக்கு அம்மா என்ன சொன்னாங்க, அவளுக்கு எல்லாம் இருக்குடி, அவளுக்கு எல்லாம் நிறைய இருக்கு, நீ வச்சுக்கோ அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. அது ரொம்ப எனக்கு ரொம்ப மனசு கஷ்டமா இருந்துச்சு. எப்படி அன்கான்சியஸ் இத போயிடுறாங்க, ஆனா ஞாபகம் வரத்துக்குள்ள அதை கொடுக்கணும்னு நினைக்கும் போதோ, ஆனா பகவான் பாவம் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அம்மாக்கு இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு டிசீஸ் கொடுத்துட்டாரு, ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருந்துச்சு. இது இப்படி அதுக்கப்புறம் முடிஞ்சிச்சு சாமிஜி. இது முடிஞ்சு இப்போ ஒரு 4-5 years பேக் ஸ்ரீலங்காக்கு போயிருந்தேன் நானு. ஆனா எவ்ரி இயர் அம்மா வந்து அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு கொஞ்சம் ஸ்டேஜ்ல இறந்துட்டாங்க. எவ்ரி இயர் அம்மாக்கு சாரின்னு வச்சு கும்பிடுவோம் நாங்க. கும்பிட்டுட்டு அம்மா ஞாபகமா அந்த சாரியை கட்டிப்போம். இப்போ 4 years பேக் நான் ஸ்ரீலங்கா போகும்போது ஒரு அனலன் தீவுன்னு ஒரு தீவுக்கு போயிருந்தோம். அங்க வந்து ஒரு வயசான பாட்டி வந்து இப்ப நான் எவ்ரி இயர் வச்சு கும்பிட்ட அந்த சாரிய நாங்க எடுத்துன்னு போயிருந்தேன். இன்னொரு மாச ட்ரெஸ் வந்து ஒரு சுடிதார் தான். அதனால ஒரே ஒரு சாரி தான் எடுத்துட்டு போயிருந்தேன். அது அம்மாக்கு ஞாபகமா வச்சிருந்த சாரி. அது நான் அத கட்டிருந்த பார்த்துட்டு அந்த அம்மா வந்து என்ன கேட்டுச்சு, எனக்கு ஒரு சாரி கொடுமா அப்படின்னு கேட்டுச்சு. ஆனா எனக்கு என்னன்னா நான் கட்டியிருந்த சாரி மட்டும்தான். ஆனா வேற வந்து சுடிதார் தான் இருக்கு. இது எப்படி குடுக்கறது? அதுவும் அம்மாவோட சாரி. அது வந்து வச்சு கும்பிட்டது வந்து வேற யாருக்கும் கொடுக்க கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஆனா மறு நிமிஷம் வந்து எனக்கு என்ன ஆச்சுன்னா அம்மாவே வந்து கேட்ட மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு. ஆனா அந்த அம்மா அந்த சாரியை கட்டிக்க முடியாது, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சில்க் சாரி. ஆனாலும் என்ன பண்ண, சரி அம்மாவே கேக்குற மாதிரி இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கடகடன் சுடிதார் மாத்திட்டு கடகடன் இந்த சாரி எடுத்துன்னு வந்து கொடுத்துட்டேன். அது எடுத்துன்னு போயிட்டாங்க. அதுக்கு எடுத்துன்னு போயிட்ட அப்புறம் எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருந்துச்சு. ஆனா அந்த ஒரு நிமிஷம் நான் வந்து இல்ல இது அது இப்படி கொடுக்க முடியாது, இந்த அம்மா எப்படி கட்டி இருக்கோம், எப்படி கட்ட முடியாது இந்த சாரி அப்படின்னு நினைச்சு கொடுக்காம இருந்தேன்னா ரொம்ப ரொம்ப கில்ட்டி ஆயிருக்கும். அது கொடுத்ததுனால அம்மாக்கே கொடுத்த மாதிரி ஆச்சு. இது ரொம்ப வந்து மனசு ரொம்ப, நீங்க சொல்லும் போது அந்த மீ டு ஹிம் சொல்லும் போதோ அம்மாவே வந்து கேட்ட மாதிரி இருந்தது அது கொடுக்கும்போது.
அதான் ஏன் நம்ம நினைக்கிறோம் அம்மாவும் பகவானை கொண்டுறணுமே. Again, no, unknowingly or unwittingly, even after hearing it, we are still remembering only from individual to individual. Now we are trying to understand that this has been brought about by God. Otherwise, it stays at the individual level. So now we are now trying to understand the words of Papa with the help of an IQG, that wherever there is a need to be, it is only He only. In the form of goodness, in the form of selflessness, in the form of sacrifice, in the form of attentiveness, in the form of timely assistance, in the form of quality care. So these are all He only. That also we should bring, and then only, it becomes complete. Remember this incident, it's a great blessing. So we should attribute that blessing also to Him. So somebody was asking, how am I to see Him? Yeah, this is how we have to see Him. Papa clearly says, He is in the form of love and goodness. So hereafter we will try, whenever we remember an incident, we will try to intellectually first understand, God brought this. God made me to go there. God in the form of mother behaved like this. God in the form of mother gave these two sarees. And then the same thing to test. Again, at another situation where I was reluctant because I was viewing it from the individual level. Suddenly I remembered God in the form of my mother. So then it was given. And today, when we remember all those things, there is an inexplicable pleasant feeling welling up in our heart. So this is how, the sadhana takes place. So this forum, we are not making use of to just float at the individual to individual level. That is the first primary stage. Now from the individual level to, we are moving to the goodness. Goodness is godliness. And then, then we are moving to it. So in every incident, suppose we try to bring in this, at first intellectually, and slowly that will pave the way for bringing him into the picture. And it will not be limited to individuals. It will not be limited to animals. It will not be limited to trees and plants. It will be limited to, it will not be limited to anything else. So that is how we try to move forward. Is that clear?
Yes, Swamiji. அங்க அந்த அம்மா வயசான அம்மா கேட்கும் போது அவங்களுக்கு மனசுல வந்த அந்த தாட் கண்டிப்பா பப்பாவோட தாட் இல்லாம அது அப்படி கொடுத்துருக்கவும் முடியாது. பப்பாவோட எண்ணம் கொடுத்ததுனாலதான் கொடுக்கவும் முடிஞ்சது. அதுல ஒரு சந்தோஷம் திருப்தியும் கிடைக்கும்.
So let us try to bring in this dimension. No? First, intellectually, it doesn't matter. At that time, we did not realize that it was God who arranged. Now we are trying to arrange. We are trying to reinterpret to us. It may look artificial now, but doesn't matter. But that is the truth. That is the truth. He has been with us. He is with us. Even when I was not aware that He has been with me, He has been with me. So similarly, we will try this, that is the purpose of this, bringing this anecdote. Otherwise, we will not be taking out the real benefit. We should all remind ourselves we are on a in-depth study of IQG, so that this goodness, we are trying to see God, in anything and everything. First in goodness and God, and later on we will also see opposite of goodness. Firstly, let us try to see, associate himself with the goodness, and fill our mind with positive ideas, purity, and then we will slowly find that a stage comes when, without any effort, we will be able to see Him. This is what our masters have assured. And throughout the journey, Papa has made it very, very clear.
Swamiji, one small thing I want to say. Not a very big incident or anything, but every time I used to pick up Inquest of God, previously, I couldn't go further than few pages. And I saw that you were often telling about Inquest of God and such lots of values and spiritual. Why am I not able to see through this? Literally, I had this painful thing blocked in my head, and I could not just go ahead. And today, Papa has taken me to this level that I'm able to at least understand a little bit, and I don't know how much I will put it in my life throughout, but with your grace and help, I will be able to do it.
He is with us. He is guiding us. Keep on reminding. He is leading us, guiding us. He is present in the form of these. And later on we will find He is present in all. First in selective, just like in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna points out, certain things, Then later on, I am there in everything. So all these put together, So don't worry, we are all being led by Him. We are all being guided by Him. He has been with us. He is with us. Let there be no doubt about it. Whether we know Him or not, He has been with us. And that is why we are what we are today. And this is the basic theme that Papa is giving through IPG. In varied circumstances, in varied manifestations, he was able to identify this common thread. So when you keep on reading it with this idea, one day, you will be able to derive. You just open, you don't plan anything, you just open that particular page. It will give you something of this. That is how we, how do we get into touch with Papa's various talks, various teachings. We just open and we find there is an inner alignment. Then we realize, he is telling us, did I not prompt you to take this? Oh, sorry. I thought I was opening it. You did not open it. I made you to open. This dialogue, Today we started with Aaj Meri Binati, A great devotee, Brahmananda, he prayed, he brought it out. Sagara Jagat ke Athar, he keeps on. Your Mahima is apart. So many things, So this dialogue, it is an outcome of a dialogue. a dialogue where you feel his presence. All those things will become clearer and clearer to us. When you are there, you are there, you are there. You are with me. I am not aware of you. Kindly enable me to make me aware. This is the only prayer all of us have to keep on doing it. You have been with me. You are leading me. You are guiding me. You are protecting me. You are subjecting me to go through various types of experience only to refine me, to make you your best instrument. In the journey, I would have acquired so many things which are not conducive to become your. So you devise a method by which first I get into something, then you make me to remove it, and then ultimately you take me into your fold. So like that, that's why we said every day we have to bring out a prayer of our own. And then, based upon that particular day's experience, and then we become closer and closer and closer to him. And one day we'll be able to definitely feel, he's there. Let us all hope that before the I2G, this Sadhyaya Sapar ends, all of us are lifted to a little higher level than what we are. This is our humble prayer to him. Hayo. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Pranam.